So I work at Amazon. I'm actually part of the Ops Tech IT team, which is just like operations IT. Aside from that, I just pretty much game. I'm at home with my fiance and 4 cats, and taking care of our newborn son.
We are here today for the Corporate Esports Association Overwatch 2020 Spring Playoffs. It is going to be a spectacular day.
Through most of it, only does get one as the Blizzard comes out on the backside. T also going to find the Deadeye onto Specs on the high ground. Google has to press on the pedal to try and touch this point, and they're not! Oh, it comes up short. Amazon Fire Force will be able to take Volskaya Industries.
CEA to me is like an organization that pulls together a lot of these like top companies around the world. I think it's like a great team building function, and then also it's for a great cause. It's for charity.
And since 2 members showed up in the top lane, they're immediately going to go for the dive in the mid lane with the damage onto Pandora. You're going to be able to pick up the kill. Twice over for Apocalypse. Everyone else is going to be running for the hills. Nobody wants to be able to join in this fight. With the minions there, the Baron's still on everybody. This is going to be the grand finals for Team Amazon Stock Dip. They've got the money, $5,000 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They have secured it for themselves with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, so like losing to Adobe was like pretty heartbreaking. I got like the second place trophy in the mail. I'll see it like every day, and like it's like a reminder, like you have to do better. You always have to like somebody out there is better than you. Like you should always strive to be the best. But like we're definitely gonna come back way stronger, way better. We don't want to drop another game during the season. We definitely don't want to lose in grand finals.
Adobe Illustrators taking this next map.
Hello, and welcome everybody. Thanks very much for joining us today. We've got a very interesting day of Counter-Strike coming up for you. This best of 3. It is obviously Red Hats on this CT side, Josh, versus the Amazon Wallbang services. What do we think about this going on to Inferno now?
Oh, I'm excited to get into it. I don't really know what I think about it, of course. We don't get to cast these games very often, so never got the pleasure of watching any of these players before. And yeah, as we get into the server, the Amazon Wallbang service is definitely looking like the better team here on Inferno. They're 1-0 up, about to make it 2. But remember, Red Hats, they'll have a full investment in the next.
They absolutely will. And, well, here on Inferno, obviously really important to get a good start on that terrorist side. It'll be very, very convincing in the meantime.
Yeah, in fact, a completely flawless one, wasn't it? Only taking 2 casualties in the pistol round, then in the follow-up, just finding every single frag without a single man dropping. Does mean that they retain all of these MAC-10s, and whilst that's good for the bank account, it's not too good for round number 3, because Red Hats, they've got all of those rifles to work with, they've got Flurry of Utility, and that Kevlar and the kits to back it up. And well, this Amazon side, really just the SMGs to work with, which at range can be difficult. Wait and see what they go for here as they head over towards Banana. So smoke goes up. That's going to delay them a little bit further. They're actually going to drop off the back of it. Don't want anything to do with Banana anymore. They've taken control. They've left Food Monster posted. They can just linger around there, make sure that they don't give up that Banana control later on in the round. And in the meantime, field towards mid. Now, with these MAC-10s in hand, I would have really liked to see them just go for a faster play, get into a site within the first few seconds of the round. Instead, we haven't seen that whatsoever. Much slower default approach, and luckily for them, the Red Hats are playing this one very, very passive indeed. So they've been allowed loads and loads of control, tons of leg room. Now they get to pick and choose what site they want to head to, and it's looking like it is going to be B. Red Hats. They haven't rotated anybody over after all of this information's been gained. Still just playing this 3-2 defense. Of course, it's EXE and Marceledo to hold up this B-bomb site, and that's going to be the first for the FAMAS. The Galils and the MAC-10s charging through. 1-for-1 trade, looking to trade another through the smoke. Not quite going to happen, but a lot of damage dealt. And oh my, EXE is just walking straight through it. Surprised to still be alive at this point as the nade chips away further damage. 4 versus 4, this C4's planted. And now the Red Hats have to find a way to get back into this one. Of course, Still have a little bit of utility to work with. In fact, only 2 flashbangs, and that's the first one expended. Didn't actually flash anybody, but so much damage dealt to this T side, you'd think they could land a single bullet here or there. That's just not shaping up to be the case. The Galil spraying away for more damage, and this might just be the end of the round for Red Hats as they try to fall away, and Wumph isn't even going to allow it. Whilst he is, well, found himself a cheeky frag, not much more than that. An M4 and an AUG retrieved, and, well, the Amazon Wallbang services will be able to take their third, despite the fact that they had a massive firepower disadvantage. So going into round number 4, they'll more than likely be up against a pretty lackluster buy here from the Red Hats, and they'll have all of the tools to work with themselves. A full reinvestment all round, rifles, utility, the Kevlar and helmets on every man. Let's see what they can get done here in round number 4. Red Hats right now. Just a couple of pistols, as I said before, real lackluster buy. No one even opting for that Kevlar. Not even Nox, who's got a shotgun in hand, or Weil, who's bought himself an MP9. So everybody staying at that 2k mark. I'd have liked to see just pistols and some Kevlar rather than an unarmored MP9. I can't imagine that'll be able to get a whole lot done. And that's a shotgun dropping instantly. Pokes his head up and Funta says bye-bye. Gives them this nice man advantage. Weil wants to double dip in, see what he can do. Or catches Funta out with a flashbang in his hands. That's going to be one for him. And this is actually starting to shape up in the Red Hats' favour. A Deagle converts, brings things back into a 4-on-3, and the Amazon Wallbang services starting to realise that they might need to trek elsewhere. Head over towards this B-bomb site where currently there's only one man defending. But Mesaledo, he's already on his way on the rotation. Coming in from CT. They have to clear out this man first. The smokes are posted. They have a perfect isolation. If they can just find this single man towards the back of the site, this will be round over. But EXE is putting up a fight, and he's not going down without taking more with him. Brings things back into a 2-on-2. And this is where this bomb goes down, and there's no defenders to be seen for miles as they come in one by one. Wow, that's a bit of a mistake. He should be waiting for his teammate there, going for a swing together. Play the safety and numbers. Instead, swings out far too early, and Brave, he's found himself an AK. He's got no Kevlar to back it up, so he is just going to fall away and save. Definitely the smarter move to go for here, but of course, a round that was certainly in contention, a round that the Red Hats very easily could have won, is going to go Amazon's way, and it is going to put the score up to 4-0.
It's always really important to take those close rounds as well, especially B-bomb site of Inferno, tough, tricky retakes. Very costly if you're trying to go for those retakes a lot of the time. 4-0 start as well here on Inferno. Very powerful stuff. 4-0. Bomb to explode. We've got this nice flashy HUD here today, Josh. And remember, both of these teams playing for charity. We've obviously got the NAACP being played for here today. And Girls Who Code as well. 2 great charities as well. 2 very famous charities that everybody at home would have probably heard of. For this one, and the top 3 teams in this tournament, that's where the money goes to here for this one. Not just in this esport, but CEA, lots of different esports being played. Here on Inferno, though, we've got a best of 3 to be played here. Nice banana control, and those nades always very, very impactful. You probably want to be stopping at the bottom of banana for the opening maybe 20, 30 seconds of each and every one of these rounds, just to make sure that you're not absorbing that nade damage.
Yeah, it's always a dangerous game to be playing, isn't it? You've mentioned it before. These red zones where you just don't want to be standing, especially on Inferno. Real prevalent. All of these nades coming in, doing a lot of damage. Food Monster, he hasn't even spotted out an enemy, and he's already down to 17 points of health. Shouldn't be all too phased by it, though, especially as the flash comes over, and Poison Monkey, not even challenged whatsoever. Just swings around, finds that headshot. That's going to be another freebie for Funta there, as Nox oversteps a little. Pokes his barrel around the corner. That's going to bring things into a 5-on-3 and actually initiate this rotation towards the A site, which Red Hats have read horribly and actually rotated a man over towards B.
Yeah, and in these situations, feels like AWS are just getting up the upper hand in all of these scenarios. Fast 2 kills from the AUG, and that opens up this A bomb site, but it's in a doable retake scenario, Josh. Got the M4A1S and that AK-47. Surely Red Hats are going to want to go in for this one. Bomb planted, time pressure applied. There goes the Molotov as well to slow them down in a way. And just locked outside of this A bomb site momentarily. Double kit as well. Definitely enough time, but with that bomb ticking down, they're almost playing for exits right now. This is far too slowly, and AWS just holding them out at the door of their headshots. 5-0, nice convincing stuff. A bomb site falling this time, and AWS feels like they're picking and choosing their bomb sites really efficiently. Going for those attacks when necessary. Quick 5-0.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm quite pleasantly surprised here. The AWS are actually playing some pretty good Counter-Strike here on Inferno. Taking a nice early lead. Can you hear the bells? Is that what you're laughing at?
I can hear the bells. So we didn't have time to get into it, but I'm sure during a tactical pause perhaps, or a technical, I want to leave the viewers in suspense as to what's happening.
All right, fine. I'll give you one last jingle. There you go. You're welcome.
It's very Christmassy, isn't it?
Oh, another two-man advantage taken here by AWS. They're just really dominating Inferno right now. The Red Hats, even in these buy rounds, not putting up a massive fight here with the Deagles. Not really doing any damage whatsoever. The smokes are posted. Food Monster, he's right over the top of them, knows exactly what's up, and that's going to be all the headshots.
Yeah, and he's hit 3 already as well. Nox doesn't really know what to do inside the CT spawn. Des Eagle in hand, not much else. It's going to be 6-0. Nice convincing start from AWS, and how do you come back from this? Obviously, Inferno, very slightly terrorist-sided map, but you want to be able to post those 6-7 rounds on the board, especially in a best-of-3 like this, where you want to go through to map 2 and map 3 incredibly confident. Remember, this is a best-of-3, so we've got Dust 2 coming up next. Inferno and Dust seem to play quite similar to each other. If you're good on the T side of this map, you're very likely that's going to be transferable over to Dust as well. Obviously, both fairly AWP-heavy in their pursuit. This time, AK-47s, 5 of which AWS. And AWP is on the server, but bad nades onto Banana. They don't do any damage.
Yeah, not a single point dealt whatsoever. A couple of flashes come over, and Red Hat, they're playing this one very aggressive towards B. Quite aggressively posted stances, could very easily be countered, and you can see those bullets even going through the smoke. They're anticipating where I'm just going to call him EXE. I don't even know how to attempt to say that name.
It is pronounced, I can tell you how it's pronounced. It's pronounced Glitch.
Glitch? All right, yeah. Howdy, I'll remember that.
It's quick kills, isn't it? Masaledio, he goes down as well. That's another name. It does say that there's no incorrect pronunciation on my document, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it wrong a few times, despite those no incorrections.
Well, that was a snappy one through the smoke. Yeah, I think I'll get it wrong a couple of times too. I completely butchered it the first time I said it in round number 2 or something, so strap your seatbelts in for that. Glitch right now, though, posted with this AWP, should be able to connect straight between the eyes. One's going to drop, and that's actually for the first time going to give this CT side the man advantage. The flank in play, and Funter, he's just not quick enough. But with that nade coming through, that's going to finish off the job. Should be able to get the second onto the AWP. Brings things into a 1 versus 1 situation, and Nox coming up from Banana has this AK in hand. He has got a kit, and he is just going to hold this one. Surely has this one just in the nick of time. Funter needs to hurry things up, and he can't connect the head in time. That's going to be Red Hat putting their first on the board. But 6-1, incredibly close stuff.
Yeah, and that's not going to do the CT economy any good at this point, to be perfectly honest with you. Obviously, they don't have much money built up, and winning a round like that obviously decreases that loss bonus down to $2,900, means they won't be able to get a buy into the next. If they lose all of these rifles here on round 8, it's the AK-47s to come out. Full set of utility here from AWS, as I expect them to employ a pretty standard setup once again. You see that bomb going down towards Mexico, and everybody else just taking these corners. Pretty much standard stuff here. No nade damage here from Red Hats.
Despite the fact that they seem to try it every single round, see all of those HEs deployed instantly. Every single one of these rounds so far. This time AWS, they fancy their chances towards the ace site, but they're not watching for Glitch, who's just going to get a cheeky little push through the smoke, find himself that first, and wow, there was no real need for him to push up as well. As he drops, that brings things back into a 4-on-4, and as the nades come over towards this A site, it now becomes in contention.
Nox with the angle, playing around the smoke. This is exactly what you need to do, and hit 2 headshots for it. Frey finds one in the meantime. That leaves Sisms all the way towards this B bomb site. on his lonesome, bomb isolated towards the middle of the map, 50 seconds to play with. A double defense, 2-2 setup. He's going to have to walk into a pair of players wherever he lingers. And unfortunately, that bomb is a million miles away, so fairly unretrievable in the meantime. Means that Red Hats don't spot it. They don't get this initial intel. They might as well just keep 2 players on either bomb site. Makes the round impossible to win. 25 seconds. I doubt that he'll want to save with $5,000 in the bank account. But that C4, it's been retrieved. If we can find both kills on one bomb site, get the C4 down, that puts him into a 1 versus 2. But a very mere possibility of that happening, and he will just decide to save that utility, smoke double flash, and of course that AK-47 to play with as well.
I like that. Definitely the smart move to go for, despite the fact they do have enough money in the bank. There's not enough to last them for the rest of the half. So to go for a little bit of a save, carry that AK across, no real harm done there. But that is going to be the second on the board for Red Hat. And whilst they are still trailing pretty badly, and they are still looking like the weaker side here on Inferno, that's what you need. You need to start racking up your rounds on your CT side. And this isn't a bad turning point. If you allow your opponents to get on to 9-10 rounds before you start making the comeback, that's where it becomes problematic. But 6-2, they take a couple more. All of a sudden, this game is very much still to play for.
Molotovs towards Banana and no aggressive stance once again for Red Hats. Maybe deciding that they were losing precious players towards that side of the map the majority of the time. This time the only bit of aggression is Frave into the apartments. He's joined by Funter, who's on 12 kills already, remember. Massive member to take down early, and instead it's Wolf losing the majority of his HP. Down to 28 before we get started. 1 minute 20 on the board with flashes through. And Red Hats, they're just holding a fairly standard defense right now. This is exactly what you like to see out of a CT side of Inferno. Nobody really peeking into the brunt of that apartments, though. So Frave can kind of just keep this angle. Funter has been heard. So a bit of precious information, but no real response to be made off the back of that.
Notably, this bomb is left behind almost every single round from AWS. And it's not left in a position that's easy to retrieve either. They actually have to go on a bit of a trek to get it. There we go. It's Poison Monkey to make that journey. Right now, Red Hat, they're not really trying to take any control. They're playing these standard defaults. They're playing very, very passive. They're not trying to push in and make aggressive stances towards their opponents. And that allows Funter to just push right in, go 1-for-1, and now his teammates are going to charge into this B-bomb site.
Yeah, Poison Monkey, only one more to deal with, and that's down to the AWP that'll take the shot into CT. Missed the shot by a whisker, but that nade is cataclysmic. Sisms finishes off that penultimate player. And what is this name, Josh? Wild True Thought. We've got some very funky names in the server, so let's give out our first consolation prize. Who wins the best name trophy?
Oh, I don't know. It's got to be between Food Monster and Poison Monkey.
I was going to say Poison Monkey, to be honest. So
yeah,
can we give him?
Yeah, go on then. I like the way he spells monkey. I think that's good.
It's like, I do a monkey impression, Josh. And since this is a charity broadcast, I think you should try and do a monkey impression.
Oh, no, that's not happening. That's definitely
not going to happen.
If you want to do your monkey impression, you can do your monkey, but I'm not going to do my monkey impression.
What about the charities? Exist.
Don't do this to me. This isn't okay, all right? I'm not doing the monkey impression. I'm not dancing. I'm not doing this stuff.
No, you have to dance. Definitely.
No.
I care
about charities. I love charities. They're very important, especially at this time of year.
We'll see how charitable you are. You really are.
I'm not doing a monkey impression.
Deep down in your heart. We'll see what sort of charity and there is there. Surely there's something. We can crack into you. It's for the greater good.
I will donate in the form of food and money.
What food would you donate?
Help.
What have you got?
I've got cocktail sausages.
Cocktail sausages. The
yeah,
standard,
I always
of
have
course.
loads of cocktail sausages, man. They're always stacked up in the fridge. If I haven't run out of cocktail sausages, I panic.
I already know the conversations that's been happening. Oh, Josh is coming over. What does Josh like to eat? Just buy some cocktail sausages. That's the easy one, right?
Not some.
Loads.
Lots. Yeah, just
packets and packets and packets. So how many cocktail sausages are we talking? Are we talking more than 60?
60 individual cocktail sausages.
Yeah.
Yes, we are talking about more than 60 individual
How many
cocktail
then?
sausages.
I don't want to play the prices right with you or anything here, but
We're talking more like 150 to 200.
150 cocktail sausages.
Yeah, man, I like my cocktail sausages.
That sounds like too many.
Nah.
Well, we've got a sight
3
take
big
coming
50
in right now.
boxes.
Systems is going to be the first man in. Glitch right around the corner. Nobody's going to check for him. That's 3 kills as he finishes off the rest. Lovely combination there.
That is beautiful. You often see players try and go for that push towards the CT smoke. When you're locked out and your teammate's isolated, you can sometimes get away with pushing in whilst the opponents, their attention's diverted. You can maybe find yourself 1-2 frags before you get traded, but it's often watched. And in this scenario, that just wasn't the case whatsoever. He was able to push right through and take advantage of the fact that AWS were, they were just completely diverse elsewhere. And that gives them a massive, massive round. Really big one for them to pick up too. Brave right now needs to find this headshot. Absolutely does. That's his cue to get out of there. That gives him another man advantage.
You see
here.
that they're hyper aware of that position into Boiler as well. They nade it first, felt like a pre-fire, still not getting away with the kill.
I think Red Hat have literally played a player there every single round.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't surprise me that they do anticipate that spot. It's something that they've been getting aggressive on, and it's actually cost them most of the time. This time around, Pravy's just too snappy, too quick to the punch. Poison Monkey, though, with that long smoke in play, he'll almost certainly swing and find this kill, and he absolutely does. Quick headshot. I'm not sure how that's traded by Nox. That was laser precise through the smoke. Nonetheless, Waff all the headshots to find, and he knows exactly where Nox is, and he's going to take him down.
Yeah, Nox actually the highest level player on this Red Hats team, so certainly showing up. 7 kills, a couple of multi-kills actually on that A-bomb site as well. I feel like he needs to be the man to step up, though, to actually push them over the top in this one. And into another tricky retake once again. It might just be time to save the AWP. That seems to be the case for Glitch. He wants to keep a hold of this Wildfire, Josh. It's a skin that costs quite a bit of money. You want that Wildfire?
They are cool. I've never had one. It's one of those skins that I've just never had. My big skin collecting days were back when the Wildfire didn't exist.
We used to give away Wildfires. That was our go-to jackpot skin. We'd give them away. People used to rant and rave over that one. Very precise with the HP, I must say. You see that open plan often doesn't use itself for that pit save, but if you've got 100 HP, you can save, survive with 5 or so health remaining. That's going to grant them the 8th round.
Yeah, easy stuff. They obviously came into this one a lot hotter. They went, 6-0 up? These last few rounds have been incredibly back and forth. You've only got to look at the scoreboard to realize that it has quite literally gone back and forth, and that AWS haven't been able to string 2 rounds together since they went 6-0 up. So that's what this is about right now, breaking your opponent's economy. And they're in a position where they actually can, because these rounds have gone so back and forth. There's no longer that max loss bonus here for Red Hat. And if AWS win this round, more than likely they will actually be down to an eco in the next. They've still got plenty of cash to work with. They don't have to worry about the money just yet. But that's actually a major concern here for the Red Hats, because if they lose this, they go down to an eco, then it becomes 10-3, and that's where that scoreline really does start to just push further and further, and that gap becomes much harder to close. Nox playing around the edge of this smoke. That's actually a pretty terrible long smoke. Massive gap in it, and they're able to capitalize quite nicely.
Yeah, and that wastage of utility as well means there's less to use in the actual execute. Poison Monkey, he'll be the first man through. Needs the shot and finds it onto Nox. Such an impactful player to take down first. That opens up the whole of Arch towards this B-bomb site. And Poison Monkey will be the first man through to try and challenge that AWP of Glitch. He misses the shot. There is a tag, but no frag. And Poison Monkey will be through with another one once again. That's going to isolate this retake from both the CT spawn and Banana. So Red Hats, they're going to be absolutely everywhere before this C4 goes down. They've still got to find Glitch. And with a missed shot, that will seal his fate. But the retake, Josh, it's already on its way. Brave, he is right here inside Banana. Fast shot, loses the majority of his HP. And now that Molotov is actually going to sting him backwards. They need to just really find Wild, otherwise Well, this is going to get a lot harder to hold down. Frave actually has a lot of utility here. I'd love to see him throw that flashbang at least over the top to give them a little avenue of approach. Sometimes not throwing your flashes is a big symptom of a bit of lower level CS-isms. That's a one tap, and maybe even follows it up with a spray down. 9 rounds, 1 away from double digits as they look to lock away the half.
You know what concerns me? That round wasn't the first time something like that's happened. Of course, Red Hat, they took a 2-man advantage early on. They found both the kills towards A. They went untraded initially. Round like that, you should be winning 80, 85% of the time quite comfortably. Somehow AWS wriggled their way back in. And as I say, it's not the first time it's happened. There's been a few rounds just like that. Aforementioned save here from Red Hat. Not even really going for the force buy, just down to these pistols, almost a full eco, and it is just going to be torn apart. Funter entries onto the B-bomb site, and all the frags happening elsewhere. So this is certainly going to be 2 here for AWS. And Red Hats, they have to work very hard to make sure they convert the final 2 of the half. Otherwise, this is going to be very one-sided indeed.
And let's be honest, that economy has been a constant thorn in their side, a permanent issue. They've not had enough money on this Red Hat side to actually go for these back-to-back buys. And AWS have had enough cash in all of these scenarios, not just to get out AK-47s, but that AWP for Food Monster every time. That's a massive advantage to have, that economical advantage on this terrorist side that you often see from powerful Inferno teams. Quick kill from Poison Monkey, and that will be the 10th on the board here from the Amazon Wallbang services. A distinct lack of Wallbangs so far, though, Joshua. I don't think we've seen any yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen any at all, have we? As far as I'm aware. And there's plenty of spaces on Inferno as well with 2 Wallbang. The B apartments, paper thin. I don't know what they make houses out of in Italy, but here on Inferno, apparently it's just cardboard.
They don't have big weather in Italy, remember? They don't have wind. So
don't have wind.
No wind in Italy.
What is wind, Squid?
Wind
explain it to me.
is just air. It's just a convection current.
Okay, all right. That's a better response than I gave. Someone asked me that once, and it completely stumped me.
Why? What is wind?
I don't know, man. That's why I asked you.
I don't know. I don't think it's a convection current. I think that's just rubbish. I think I just said a sciencey word and hoped I'd get away with it. And I did get away with it until I then dumped myself in.
Yeah, you could have just left it there. You could have just left it there.
I know
I
that
actually don't
with
know.
all of these big organizations, like all of these guys, they literally work for Amazon and Google and some of the biggest orgs in the world. Somebody watching is going to be far, far smarter than me and actually know the answer to that question. And then I'm going to get called out. I bet in the Twitch chat right now, I might even have somebody. I might get it open.
Yeah, I bet they know. I bet Google know what wind is.
They know everything.
Yeah, well, I was asked it, and I was like, I don't know.
Now, so
something to do with the sea or something. It's air, and it like goes over the sea.
If you know what wind is, please tell us, because we don't.
We don't know what wind is.
Even
and I'm not embarrassed about
what
it.
Wind is.
Well, I mentioned before that round number 14 was going to be a really important one for the Red Hats to take, and by the looks of things, unless a big clutch comes through from Nox, it's not going to. Of course, 3 versus 1, he's the man that they'd certainly want in a situation like this. But as Funter's managed to retrieve that C4, he's going to wrap back around and plant it. And Poison Monkey, with only 11 points of health, is able to finish things off. That's actually an ace from the man. And that's going to be 11-3 here for AWS as they face up against a Red Hat side that have no cash left in the bank to work with.
So, GJCS, who we've spoken to over in the CEA Discord, is definitely smarter than us. We already knew that. But he said, difference in air temperature and pressure. So, I guess, do you know what diffusion is, Josh? Diffusion, where kind of like particles like spread out and become even. I don't even think that's the right way to think about it. But yeah, difference in air pressure. So, it gets like sucked in and then blows your hair all over the place, especially yours.
Oh yeah, your hair doesn't go anywhere, does it?
No, apart from
doesn't go anywhere other than up.
Down the shower drain.
Yeah.
That's the only place my hair goes.
And then my luscious locks blow in the wind.
Not for long, Josh. You're going to hit your mid-20s soon. And that lovely little fringe that you've been kind of using to pay the bills for so many years are gonna start to recede.
I don't know. I wouldn't be too confident. My granddad is 85 and he has long, swept back white hair, and it's awesome.
It's impressive.
And he's not receded like at all. He's got a perfect hairline. It all sweeps back. He looks like President Snow from the Hunger Games.
Okay.
So if I've got hair like that at 85, then I'm well happy.
So you can actually just trade off it forever.
Yeah. Yeah, just you wait.
Well, either way, a 1 versus 2 not going the Red Hat's way. That's a 3-12 half there. Very powerful stuff. Poison Monkey even hitting 20 kills at the end of it. Only 6 deaths. We see this new scoreboard, Josh. It's not the new scoreboard, but it's got slightly smaller digits on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It does. I'm not sure why they've done that.
It's to make it slightly harder to read. For people like me who look at screens for too long and now probably need glasses but haven't gone to the opticians yet, it's forcing us to make good optical decisions.
Right.
By the way, Weil hasn't invested anything into this pistol round, and neither has Frave. This is a new strategy, I would say. Something that you don't often see players do. At any sort of level, you usually want either Kevlar or a couple of nades, but 0 nades for this T side, and that is not in replacement for, of course, those sets of Kevlar. They don't have any.
They're doing what I can't, Squid. They're saving money. They're saving it for a rainy day. I'm not sure if they'll be left with too many rainy days if they can't convert this pistol round, though. Of course, that will put AWS onto 13, but a convincing fake towards the B site does draw enough rotations to allow them onto A. Those digits going to go down. But of course, now a 4 versus 3 retake, and there's 2 kits in play here for this CT side.
Should be an easy one to breach and break back into. Funter only 12 HP. The first man to very likely go down here. And with the Glocks connecting, Red Hats are actually getting the job done. Pair of headshots, though, as a response, as a retort. And Woofer's looking right into the apartment as that defuse is tapped. So they know exactly where he's playing from. 1 and done. As that defuse can now firmly come in. It'll be an easy one there for 13 on the retake.
Very nice pistol round there from AWS. I did question the double kits initially, but it kind of does make sense on Inferno. I think it's maybe the only map where it's somewhat viable. Obviously, such long CT rotations between each bomb site. Maybe you put 1 on A, 1 on B. Does make sense. Nonetheless, works out well for them in the end, that retake.
I will say, Josh, that we cast a lot of Counter-Strike at the very top level, obviously like the ESL Pro Leagues of the world and such, and I feel like teams at the professional level underbuy defuse kits, considering they're so cheap, $400 even, and then can easily win you the round. I feel like the investment is there, and maybe these Amazon guys know how to take care of their money better than us.
Yeah, I mean, we see too many scenarios where they put too much thought into it. They say, oh, we're going to save money, and instead of all buying diffuse kits, we're going to have like 1 on each site. And they kind of work on this basis that in a situation where there's a clutch, you just go and retrieve the kit. But you and I both know that never happens. The amount of times I've called a player out for 1 versus 1, clutches around, hasn't got time, hasn't got a diffuse kit, but he had plenty of money to buy one. So yeah, maybe they're onto something.
They certainly could be. A 14th looks more than likely here. The better buy, and this is only realistically a low investment here from the Red Hats. They don't have much to brag about whatsoever. Only Nox with the Kevlar, and he's instantly going to get ripped away. Could be a very clean round here as Sisms doesn't get caught out. That gives the MP9 the space to find even more faces, and there's Sism to support. The teamwork actually looks pretty grand here. What you'd expect from a team who went 7-1 in the group stages to get to these playoffs.
It does look good, doesn't it? You can just tell there's a level of coordination, there's a level of communication as well, just like that, where MP9 swings out, should just be able to deal the damage, then they get flashed, and they say, right, I'm flashed, you need to come support, and the M4 can just poke its head out and finish things off. We put ourselves in another situation here, though, in round number 18, that we saw in the first half, where because they've had flawless rounds in the last couple, this CT side has still got all of these SMGs. So going into this full buy, Red Hats, they've got the rifles, they've got that AWP on Glitch, and they're faced up against so many MP9s, but that's a massive whiff from Glitch, and that's going to allow this M4 to do even more damage. Oh no, another whiff! 3 kills found from Sisms there that he just shouldn't have been allowed whatsoever.
No, maybe 1, possibly even 2, but all 3. That's definitely the mark of a player who's absolutely showing a dominant performance in this series. Could be good enough for all 15 rounds here for the Amazon Wallbang services. It's a bit of a tongue twister, I will say. You think of other teams, Fnatic, Envious. They're very easy to say, they're very snappy, but Amazon Wallbang services doesn't quite roll off your tongue, does it?
It does not, no. That's why I just go with the AWS.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
It's also a joke as well.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Amazon Web Services is a business. AWS
right,
is
yeah,
an
of
Amazon
course.
business.
Yeah, I thought I'd heard of it before. Yeah. But it's not. It's the Amazon Wallbang services, obviously. Yeah.
And right
what it
now
actually
they are
stands for.
delivering like Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I'm excited. I showed you it, didn't I? When I was in.
That one didn't
when
go
I was
down very
in,
well, apparently. He didn't
no, it
like that
didn't.
one.
It was lame. It was a lame joke. When I was down at the studio, I showed you the Amazon video, didn't I, of the Amazon drone thing. That was so cool. I want
yes.
that. I'm so excited for that. I'm not sure if we're gonna get it.
I'm excited. I'm excited for drones. I'm excited for all of these things. Drones in
It's just
Counter-Strike,
exciting.
we were talking about that before. Why can't you just fly a drone to the bomb site?
Plant the bomb. Yeah, all of this
Insane.
technology, and these guys just aren't using it. But they've got it because they've got it in danger zone. So
yeah, the tech is definitely out there. 15-3, 1 round remains, and AWS with a far superior buyout of this one. Sisms does have the AWP towards mid and doesn't want to take the double peek there.
yeah, remember there's this AWP, all of these premium rifles, and look at this buy from this Red Hat side. A Scout, a couple of Galils. They've been struggling to actually find these frags when they do have the weapons to work with, let alone here with the lackluster buy. And Wuff might have just sealed the deal there. Quick double kill, possibly even a third. It's actually Food Monster to find it instead. And Glitch all on his own in an impossible situation. 15-3 down. No saving time for him. He has to go for this clutch.
His Scout is incredibly pretty, but I don't think it's going to get the job done here against 4 different players. Tries to nail these tags. Wants some consolation frags, but it's not going to happen there. And we see our first 16-3 of the playoffs. Very dominant performance, I must say, Josh.
It was indeed, wasn't it? At the very start, we saw that 6-0 lead. We were thinking, okay, yeah, this is a pretty dominant performance. Then we saw it come back a little bit. It was like 6-3. Rounds were going back and forth. It was definitely in contention. And I thought, do you know what? We might actually have a close map and potentially a close series on our hands. But then that just all started to fall away. It was 16-3. And yeah, I think we might have quite a quick one tonight.
Yeah, we absolutely could. But here is the big reveal, because we have Christmasied up the broadcast here today. Of course, 1st of December, just a couple of days ago. We're now on the 5th, so I thought we need some Christmas. So we bought an elf over here, an elf costume. We put a bit of a Christmas tree feel around the stream and everything. And yeah, Santa's little helper here to deliver the CSGO broadcast. And because this is for charity, because obviously they're playing for Girls to Code and obviously the NAACP, Elf said he's going to do a tiny little elf dance to conclude map 1.
I didn't say I was going to.
No, but you are. It's a charity thing. It's a charity thing. No, you've got to do the elf dance.
It's not a charity thing. I'm not doing the elf dance.
He's not doing the elf dance.
I categorically said in the map I wasn't going to do an elf dance.
So I'm very disappointed. What about all of the people out there who think that it's for a good cause, Emenjay? It's for a good cause. Let's do a little dance. You have to at least show off the rest of the elf outfit.
I'll show off the rest of the outfit, but
but in a dancing way.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go. This is everything.
I got my belt, my buttons, and my little bells.
That's what's been ringing throughout the whole broadcast. If anybody has been wondering, what is the bell? It's actually it's all for this gag.
And I'll do a little dance.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. That is definitely good enough. I will say that. But back on topic, 16-3 in that first map for AWS.
Yeah, it was a complete stomp, wasn't it? And of course, it was Inferno. when we go on to that second map, I'm not sure if they'll be able to continue that kind of performance. I think that 16 threes is a bit of a one-off, and I think that there was a lot of rounds that actually came quite close that just about went their way in these retakes or these clutch scenarios. But I do definitely anticipate them to win this second map, just considering how much of a disparity there is between these two teams right now. We're expecting them to be the better side going into it, just statistically, when you look at their ranks and things like that. And they really did show that. They were just a significantly better team.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were 7-1 through the group stage as well. So that is something to kind of put some stock into. Obviously, they beat every single team in that group stage apart from just the one. So obviously, coming into these playoffs now, you're thinking that they're going to have dominant performances and almost certainly be a grand final participant and certainly get into those top 3 where you bag yourself some money for your charity, which is really important to all of these teams today. Obviously, AWS, they are playing for the NAACP, so one of the kind of legendary charities in the world. Obviously, a charity that's been around for many, many, many years, and at home as well. I would definitely go and check them out, whatever, because they do phenomenal work. In the meantime, Red Hats, actually, their charity, I've mentioned them before, mentioned them again, Girls Who Code. So 2 really great charities, very, very different causes as well. You kind of see the range. I did dig through a couple of the spreadsheets earlier, Josh, and just to see the range of the charities that this is supporting, really, really good cause.
Absolutely, yeah. And at this kind of time, just before Christmas, a lot of these charities do need that extra support. There's so much that they can all give, and it's a really, really good cause. I love tournaments like this. I love tournament organizers like this that run these events and get all of these corporations involved, all of these companies that can submit a team, and it's a bit of fun. It's not super competitive. None of these guys are pushing to be pro players, but it's all just a bit of fun and raises money for charity, which is fantastic.
And that's why we thought we'd come along tonight. Josh would dance, even though it might have taken him a little bit of convincing or whatever. I know that he's going to be a little bit angry after the broadcast or whatever, because Josh, I got to tell you that the VOD is out there forever. You can live stream is gone, but the VOD.
Whatever, man. There's no embarrassment. I'm an elf. I always wear this.
Yeah, no,
I wear this every day.
Is that why you got the pointy chin?
Yeah, man. Pictures of jaw. I've got really big ears as well, if you want to see them. Look how big these ears are.
You almost don't even need the headphones. Is that why the headphones are so big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to cover my big elf ears.
Either way, we're going to go to the adverts, but we'll be back very, very shortly. It's Dust 2 coming up next.
So I work at Amazon. I'm actually part of the Ops Tech IT team, which is just like operations IT. Aside from that, I just pretty much game. I'm at home with my fiance and 4 cats and taking care of our newborn son.
We are here today for the Corporate Esports Association Overwatch 2020 Spring Playoffs. It is going to be a spectacular day.
I'm through most of it. Only does get one as the Blizzard comes out on the backside. T also going to find the dead eye onto Specs on the high ground. Google has to press on the pedal to try and touch this point. And they're not! Oh, it comes up short. Amazon Fire Force will be able to take Volskaya Industries.
CEA to me is like an organization that pulls together a lot of these like top companies around the world. I think it's like a great team building function, and then also it's for a great cause. It's for charity.
And since 2 members showed up in the top lane, they're immediately going to go for the dive in the mid lane with the damage onto Pandora. They're going to be able to pick up the kill. Twice over for Apocalypse. Everyone else is going to be running for the hills. Nobody wants to be able to join in this fight. With the minions there, the Baron's still on everybody. This is going to be the grand finals for Team Amazon Stock Dip. They've got the money, $5,000 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They have secured it for themselves with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, so like losing to Adobe was like pretty heartbreaking. I got like the second place trophy in the mail. I'll see it like every day, and like it's like a reminder, like you have to do better. You always have to like somebody out there is better than you. Like you should always try to be the best. But like we're definitely gonna come back way stronger, way better. We don't want to drop another game during the season. We definitely don't want to lose in grand finals.
Adobe Illustrators taking this next map.
Hello, welcome back, everybody. My name's Squid. You're watching the CEA. I'm joined by my elven friend for our second map of this quarterfinal. We've, of course, got the AWS versus Red Hats. Josh, take it away. What do you think?
Well, I mean, we just had a couple of minute break there between our last little conversation where we said that obviously the AWS massively dominant force over on Inferno. Inferno, I'm getting my maps mixed up. Massively dominant performance on Inferno. We now move on to Dust 2. It's the second map in this series. I'm not even sure if we'll get the privilege to see the third because I'm expecting this one to go 2-0. Starting off on this T side once again. And in this pistol round, they should just be able to stomp it.
They absolutely should. And straight on to Catwalk. Glitch snipes away too. Could be more convincing if you can find a couple more here on the A-bomb site, and that might force AWS away. They certainly should. It's 3-man stack. The flank coming in, full fruition from the back, and they've actually got 2 players towards mid here for Frave to hit another one. They have no idea that Nox is in behind, and he's going to find the final 2 members there. So 1-0 on the board.
I don't know what's happened there, but all of a sudden... breath of fresh air, a new burst here from this Red Hat side. Couple of quick kills come in through for Glitch, and then Nox just picks up the pieces quite nicely towards mid, and that's going to be the first on the board for Red Hats. Of course, 1-0 here on Dust 2. Buy comes out here for AWS. They've got some pistols to work with. They've got those 2 scouts, Kevlar on 3. Not a lot of utility as they head towards this B-bomb site, but it's very unguarded. It's only really Brave to hold up the line. Nox on a quick rotation. There's certainly a chance they do go for a B split that they could overwhelm these 2 players.
I mean, Mr. Elf, if it is Christmas and it's a charity event, could you sing a Christmas song?
That's not happening.
You're not doing that one. That one's a dead no.
That one's not happening. Maybe it depends on the song, but I think it's probably a dead
Just
no.
Jingle bells, because you've got the bells on the elf thing.
No, I'm not singing Jingle Bells.
Could you dance and sing Jingle Bells?
Definitely not happening.
Okay. All right, I'll let you off. We've already got you to dress up as an elf.
Yeah, you convinced me to put the
whatever.
thing on, and I did a little dance, all right. But the songs, no. I'm not singing elf. I'm a really grumpy elf. Hate Christmas.
Well, easy stuff. And AWS, they seem to be getting the job done here on the B-bomb site. Massive round to take if they can. That changes the pace of this one. And 1-1 on the board, perhaps. That'd be a massive result early on, and it doesn't even look like Marcelia. Oh, I got it wrong again, Josh. It's Marceletto. There we go. Marceletto.
Well, there's no R. So it can't be Marceletto.
Oh, Maceletto. Okay, we'll go for Maceletto.
Maceletto.
But he did say that there's no wrong way to pronounce it. So Marceletto, like you would say Bath, I would say Marceletto.
No, but you'd say Bath.
So Marceletto. I bet the Americans are loving this.
You get a whole range of British accents. Yeah.
I bet we sound the same over in America.
Yeah. We probably do. Trust me, over here we don't.
Yeah, over here we've got totally different voices. I'm very posh, of course, and Josh maybe a little more downstream.
Oh yeah. Yep. I'll have you know.
Yeah, here's where the brag comes in.
No, it ends there. We're not taking that one any further.
Well, AWS certainly are, with the second round almost a guarantee here. Our new, what do they call it? The Broken Fang would say that they've got a 99% chance of winning this one, with no evidence.
Yeah, what do you think of that? I told you about that earlier, and you were like, "Oh, that's interesting," and then
It
you
sounded
saw it in
great,
game.
and then I saw it and I thought it was a little bit sloppy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely just wrong, isn't it? It doesn't seem to take into account the actual impact of the frags and like what guns they have and things like that. It very much just seems to be you get the first 2 kills and you have a 90% chance of winning the round, even if like you're on an eco or something.
I feel like it does take into account the kills, because the first percentage is based on your economy, what your percentage chances of winning.
Ah, maybe it is a little bit more in depth. Regardless, it's irrelevant, isn't it?
It is, especially in this one, since we're not playing on Broken Fang. Maybe we should be playing on hostage maps.
Oh no, I mean the percentage is irrelevant.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
That's what I mean, yeah.
It always feels bad as a poker player myself when you're 98% or even 80% and then you lose. It's just to rub it in.
And then it pops up on your screen. You rub it in further.
Pops on the screen. He got a queen. I'm still tilted, Josh. I'm still salty. I'm sorry. Oh, that is snappy, isn't it? Food Monster eating up the competition.
Yeah, this has been very unconvincing from Red Hat since that pistol round. And quite bizarrely, the pistol round was incredibly convincing. It was a really, really dominant round. They pushed right in. I think it was nearly flawless. I think they kept 4 players alive. Since that, just absolute decimation here from the AWS. They've been charging in with all the rifles, finding all the frags. Here in round number 5, Red Hats do actually have something to work with. They've got some rifles. They've got that AWP in the hands of Glitch. He hasn't got any Kevlar to back it up as he heads over towards this B side, but it is going to be a fast long play as the M401S trades 1 for 1, and that's going to give up this control.
Quick kills. There's a second. A 4 versus 2 now, and Red Hats might even make this map a little more convincing. Double AK-47s to try and pull it back. Woof, who the chat is ranting and raving about, Joshua Martin. He is one of the players alive on the server, and it's going to be Poison Monkey to open it up instead. That might even be 3 frags. The A bomb side open for business. They have no idea that Weil is still here. He's got the organ hand and maybe even an entry in towards Pit. They seem to know. He's already found 2 kills, so that has been coordinated and communicated. They are going for round number 4, and this is a round that they absolutely should have won. The Molotov, they are expecting him towards the Pit area. He hasn't. He's instead behind this blue container. And still, 2 kills found, the smoke goes down, and now they're playing an isolated defense. They've robbed away the bomb, quite literally daylight robbery towards long, and with 40 seconds, while it's all out positioned, and Poison Monkey, he finds all 3 frags.
That is a massive round, a massive time to step up as well. That was looking done and dusted there for that AWS side, and they just completely pull it back. Red Hats, they were given an open door of opportunity and they didn't walk through it. Now 4-1, and they're back down to basics. Really don't have a lot of cash in the bank. Instead, just down to these pistols and this AWP. Oh, it is going to connect the snappy headshot right through the doors. That's what happens when you don't smoke it or you don't jump.
And quick into the B bomb site as a response. Desert Eagle able to chime away the first, and well, that's Nox on the response. Should be easily cleaned up by the AKs. Of course, Food Monster back with his favorite weapon, that AWP. So with Nox surely to go down, Food Monster misses the shot anyway. Definitely makes this more possible. And they know where Nox is playing from right now. He's got a bit of information of his own and already 3 frags. Body armor AK, definitely doable. We know that he's the supreme on the server. See if he can reign supreme in this 1 versus 2. This would be, I think, his second ace of the day, with the first occurring on Inferno. He seems to want to save in the meantime, though. No defuse kit. There's an AWP on the floor. Costly investment to throw away, just considering they've got very limited cash. And we can see that while that's actually Fork, does have a lot of money. I've got a feeling, Josh, that while True Fork is a coding joke.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, because it's
a command. It's a string.
Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt it, but yeah, there you go, yeah. One of those.
I did a little bit of computing at school to an A level. That maybe shows something about the United Kingdom, perhaps. I'm not sure. I'm sure my computing teacher would have his head in his hands right now, knowing that I've retained such little information.
I can make Python say "Hello World" to me. That's what I can do. Whoop whoop.
I'm not sure these guys are going to be too impressed by that. I'll be honest.
Maybe not. I'm also a pretty nifty web developer. Just on the on the
Are you looking for a job?
No, I'm not looking for a job. But just say I'm not completely. All right.
5-1. Poison Monkey with the opening, and that is such a hard angle to check. It's unfortunate that Thought goes for it. You see him just head glitching there, but no real fallback plan, and Food Monster seems to be connecting all of the shots here with that AWP. Lovely one over the top. That nade might even connect. It's a little too high, and so is the Molotov as well. Shouldn't be able to stretch anyone back. In the meantime, a costly one towards the counter-terrorist spawn. This should be 6 in this 5 versus 3 advantage, and this is usually the moment where you'd see a team save, especially on Dust 2. Very hard to get into, setting up for those exits perhaps. Not wanting the Amazon Wallbang services to make a return off of these AK-47 investments. If they lose any more rifles off the back of this, it can be costly coming into the next round. Knowing that there is a little bit of money built up in the meantime on the CT side. Very costly shot to miss. Should be Glitch dead to right. Certainly shouldn't be sticking around. This is a very late time to go into this bomb site for the retake. They certainly don't have enough time, but they've done a good amount of damage. I would say that's acceptable.
Absolutely, yeah. Still a bit of a bizarre one, kind of going for that superficial retake right at the end of the round. Had they gone in 20 seconds earlier, they maybe could have actually won it. They won all the gunfights, just definitely waited far too long. Certainly had no time to get on that C4. So it is going to be 6-1. This time they have retained some cash, though. So they've still got all of these weapons to work with on the Red Hat side. Could even go for a double-up setup if they wanted to, but instead, just the rifles all round. And we see much of the same here for the AWS team, but they're actually 5 ahead.
So exactly a quarter of the people in chat, Josh, wanted the Elf to dance or more commitment on the dance.
So that means 3/4 didn't care.
No. 3/4 abstained from giving their opinion, which in Parliament would be a vote for yes.
Right. No, elves are grumpy at this time of year.
You know that you've got a lot of work coming up and about
Yeah, man.
7 billion households to attend to. I've got to say, Food Monster, sensational at that A shot.
He is, isn't he? Super consistent at just hitting it through those boxes time and time again. And off the back of it, they just seem to tear right through. And Pravy's already down to the save. But no, I'm not happy. There's loads of work coming up for us elves. I've just been chilling all year, just like watching
What do
TV.
elves get paid in? Do you watch Christmas movies all year round?
I just watch Elf.
You just watch Elf.
Yeah. Will
You
Ferrell's
have
my favourite
got
person.
a shelf behind you, so we could do Elf on a shelf.
That's not happening either. Definitely not. I could. It'd probably support my weight. But
Yeah,
if it
try
didn't,
it.
then I could like die.
If
It's not screwed
well,
into the wall.
I'll be honest. If you did, it would be great. It would be a great Twitch fail. You know, you're trying to get famous and trying to make a name for yourself. Being the guy who did the Elf on the Shelf thing
Oh right.
could be that could be your claim to fame.
It's not very stable, man. Maybe it is screwed into the wall, you know.
It is. It is. Okay, right. We'll do that after the show then. We'll do that after. We've
man.
got a camera segment coming up. So we'll have to do that. We've got to pause in the meantime, Josh. So I think they're looking for it. Okay, we'll go back to
thinking about this.
we'll go
The
back
fact
to the
that I'm even thinking
cameras.
about this.
We'll
No,
go-
we're not going back to cameras yet.
Oh,
Alright,
okay,
I've still
we're
got
not.
to contemplate this a little bit more. Alright?
Well, we
The
can
fact
show
I'm
the
even thinking
viewers
about
what the shelves look like because
They've got loads of stuff on them.
okay, here we go. We'll go back to the cameras. So these are that is the shelf. Do we think that there is a chance that we could do an Elf on the Shelf bit?
Well, I've got to take out one of the shells first. I'm not even, they do come out. Oh, for God's sake.
It's all going right. We've got the technical pause and everything.
Well, I've got to clear them first, so...
Well, we've got a
You're
little
not
bit of
getting
time. You're fine. You're fine. You're not holding anybody up for anything.
So I reckon I can fit in that bit. The bottom bit. Do we reckon I can do that?
Snack Attack says, "Is this elf good for anything?"
No.
He doesn't
No,
really
I'm
do a
not.
lot. I'll be honest. I've worked with him for quite a while now, and he doesn't really do a lot.
Right, well, this middle shelf doesn't come out, and I'm not going that high up. So
Okay.
I'll clear this bottom bit, and I'll get on this bit.
Well, no,
How
do
long
the
of a time
higher
have we got
one.
left? I can't do the higher one. How am I supposed to get onto the higher? Oh,
Yeah,
right,
you
I'll
get
on the
on
higher
through
one.
your chair. Yeah,
We'll see.
that's how you
Hold
do
on,
it.
hold on.
You're
I
on
will
camera,
wrap
by the
the
way.
headset,
By the
everything,
way. Okay. It's because this is a Christmas broadcast. As I said earlier, we put the Christmas tree and the baubles down. It does look very sturdy, I've got to be honest. Is this safe? If there's... This is entertainment, I think. I'm looking up to my live monitor just because I don't want to miss anything that's about to happen. Because this is... Honestly, this is what I do this job for. These little moments where we might get an elf on a shelf, and these are honestly the moments that I work for. And the match is still paused as well, so we're not missing anything right this second. And I genuinely don't want to hurt him, but here we go. Oh, there we go. We got an elf on a shelf, and we got that on. It's on camera.
A bit wobbly.
I think has he?
Can I come back now?
But he can't hear me, so we can't even say anything.
I'm gonna come
Yeah, the game's starting. You have to come back. We've got it. We've got it all done. And you know what? It was good enough. You know, I'm very impressed. And you know what? In the meantime, the game has just started, so perfect timing.
Oh, brilliant.
This is the sort of content that I want. I was saying to our viewers that this is actually what I do this job for. This is what I do it for.
Well, just to get me to do ridiculous things.
Yes.
And everyone in the Twitch chat going, "Oh, this elf isn't very good, is he?" get him to do stuff. This is
but
not
I'm
a
not
one-on-one
just.
stream.
You already kind of gave yourself the. You already kind
You
of
sent
put
me the
yourself...
elf jumper.
I know I bought you the elf costume, but that's the point.
Whatever. Round number 9 for 2v1. I've got to put all this stuff back on the shelves now.
Yeah, no, I know. All of that. Well, this is a 1 versus 2, and looking very one-sided once again, I must say. Glitch walks into the AWP, and that right after the technical pause is the first round over, going Amazon Wallbang Services' way. They're halfway towards the finish line, Josh.
Absolutely, yeah. I wouldn't have really expected it any other way. It seems that the only person putting up a fight on this CT side is definitely Nox. Obviously, 11-6. He's actually leading the server right now, despite the fact that the Red Hats have only got 1 round on the board, which is kind of unfortunate. Probably feels like he can't really do any more than he is right now. It's still not working out for them. AWS, really dominant stuff. You got to see every player got 10k in the bank as well. They're going to be pretty comfortable to buy out for the rest of this half, but they might not even need it as they're just finding every single frag, winning all of their aim duels quite comfortably.
And right here, opening kill going AWS's way. The B bomb site seems to be temporarily cracked and only Nox, the man of the moment, here once more out to the open. Such a sad way to lose the B bomb site. You probably want to be playing that one in a slightly more passive fashion. You don't have the information towards the middle of the map, though. Nobody there to kind of gather that information. So he's kind of stood out in the open knowing that people are coming from tunnels in the meantime. And yeah, such an unfortunate way to lose the round. 9-1 there from Poison Monkey. A stray headshot in the meantime. And, well, 1 away from double digits again.
Yeah, beautiful 4K from him too. He actually finding that 4K allows him to surpass everybody else on the server. So Nox no longer the top fragger. It's Poison Monkey putting up all the numbers. 12-4 right now, 3 MVPs. Definitely the most valuable player so far here for the AWS side. And as we get into round number 11, 9-1, they've certainly already taken too many rounds for their T side, but they look to extend it further as they've still got 5 rounds and a half to play with. Scout, MP9, a lot of tag damage dealt early, as it is going to be a fast A hit.
And with that Molotov landing the wrong way, bouncing into Goose would have been optimal. That nade falls on the same trajectory. They're able to take down Fork regardless and bring it down to 4 already. Remember, the only round that Red Hats have been able to take has been this pistol. And just juggling away that sniper rifle onto Food Monster. That bomb is finally going to go away on that A-bomb site. And a very difficult retake once again. They've got that second Fork from Long. That is Well, the first man making the approach, and the AK-47 is going to close down the short area in the meantime. Nox versus the world here. Who else would you want? This time he is unable to take away Poison Monkey, so that will be AWS's 10th. And in both of these scrimmy maps, Inferno, Dust 2, they're getting the upper hand.
Yeah, we see another multi-kill round there from Poison Monkey, just playing fantastically. And it's actually a much more one-sided affair here on Dust 2 as well, isn't it? We saw that 6-1 lead over on Inferno, then it started to go back and forth. This one, since the pistol round, remember that Red Hats actually won that pistol round, and they won it with style. They haven't been able to do anything since. Really nice opening shot from Wumph there towards middle. That gives them that man advantage once again here in the 12th. And they're looking to just extend this lead further and further and further and get this game over and done with.
They absolutely are. Tech9 comes out to clean away Fork. Should have certainly been able to achieve that kill there. And with them being just a couple of rounds away from finishing off this half, they head towards the middle of the map instead. Molotov to actually give away the position there of Nox. He wants to backtrack in the meantime, and with the AK-47 finding another one, that's the middle of the map open and another Molotov placed as well with the AWP cleaning away the rest of these forces. Nox the last man to stand, and the bomb can now go away to the B bomb site, but he's finding all of these opening kills. He's on for the ace if he can find a couple more. Through mid, misses the tertiary shot, and Thunder wants to challenge him. That might be a key mistake. Wolf getting that bomb down on B. Supposedly he's the in-game leader here today, Josh. So we'll see if Nox actually checks his corners. This is a very peculiar one, and he's going to have his knife out for Sisms to take him down, and that's got to be frustrating after finding 3.
It absolutely does, yeah. But when you find 3 in a scenario like that, there's just no impact to it whatsoever. You're not on the right bomb site. They're all just frags on players that are trying to hunt for you, trying to get away that AWP, and they end up with that outcome in the end regardless. And it doesn't actually have any detrimental effect on their economy whatsoever. A couple of these players even at max cash right now as we go into the 13th. Difficult buy here for the Red Hats to pull out, and another AWP shot coming through. When are they going to start smoking the cross? They have lost a man to this cross almost every single time. When are they going to start smoking it? Or when are they going to stop contesting it? Because the reason that Glitch actually died in that one is because he did go for the peak, which is always to be advised against when you're on that CT side.
Yeah, especially on Dust 2 as well, where it is actually quite hard to find those openings a lot of the time. Food Monster misses a flash. Marcelo, though, he's got the angle in the meantime, and well, one quick kill gets traded. That opens up the long portion of the map with only Fork holding away the pointy letter. Ironically, Forks are pointy, you know, just like that letter A. Maybe there's maybe a little bit of a comparison there. If I wanted to eat my food with any letter, it would certainly be the letter A, maybe the letter T. Maybe a W
use the
would
letter
work.
W. It's actually
yeah,
like
a W would work. Yeah, I went to it, but a little bit late.
A T.
A
Why
T?
would you want a T? That's
You've got
rubbish.
a little. Well, you're like cocktail sausages. They put little T's in and little I's in.
I'd rather use an I for a cocktail sausage.
Do your cocktail sausages come on cocktail sticks?
No, they do not. I do have cocktail sticks, but I don't bother
Cocktail
with them.
sticks kind of went out of fashion at some point.
I just keep stabbing myself with them. I use them for cocktails and stuff.
Maybe
if
it's a
someone wants, like,
COVID
an
thing.
olive in their cocktail or something.
Ah, who wants an olive in
Maybe.
their cocktail?
I don't know. People that drink martinis and they go, "Oh, I'm going to put an olive in it." I don't know.
Don't you put a
You tell me.
lime in it?
No, you put an olive in it, and it's weird.
I don't know.
I don't.
I don't think I've ever eaten an olive.
Neither have I. and
Which
you
of your
won't get me to
friends
be an
likes
olive.
putting an olive in his cocktails? Is it Oliver?
Everybody, it's just standard. No, it's not Oliver. It's just a standard. You have not in general cocktails, but in a martini, you put an olive.
This is why they pay me the big bucks, Josh, because I can think of just some of the best jokes. I
Yeah, I'm
force
only
you
here
into
for
doing
my cocktail
things.
knowledge.
Well, you're here for... You're the only person that we could find who would dress up as an elf and sit on a shelf, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
We looked around. We posted the job description multiple places, but we couldn't find anybody.
All right.
And then you came along.
It's a pleasure.
I was very scared that you were going to break the shelf. Obviously, you're not even at your own house, so that would have probably been a bad
That would
scenario.
have been bad, yeah. It would have. Or if it had fallen on me. There's
That wouldn't have
so
been
many...
so bad because only you're getting damaged.
Whatever.
But the shelf might be irreplaceable. It might be not in commission anymore.
I applied for this elf job 6 months ago.
Why would you apply for an elf job in July?
Because you can't apply Christmas time. They're busy.
Oh, they're already taken. They've already got the
obviously.
people. Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think there are as many elf jobs going in July. I feel like people who help, like getting Christmas jobs, usually apply for those maybe in November.
Yeah, that's why it was so much better that I got the job, because it was like, they were like, well, we're not normally hiring in July, but he's so good. He's such a talented elf.
So what are
We
some
have
of
to
your
have him.
responsibilities as an elf?
A wrap stuff.
Oh, you wrap stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Presents.
But presents and
People?
bars. No.
No, okay. And bars?
Yeah, I consider
Oh,
myself
you
a bit
wrap
of a
with bars.
gangster
Okay,
rapper.
great.
Yeah,
So
man.
rapping joke. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it, really.
People maybe haven't met me yet, and they think, "Oh, who's this guy who sounds like John Oliver on our screens?" But I'm not very hip.
Yeah, you're not very hip at all. To the point where I say I'm a gangster rapper. That's what it takes for you to get the rap joke. Do I need to go put a chain on?
Well, this is 13-1 right now, and it looks like AWS are about to close this one out and book themselves a spot in the semis. Red Hats, they've not taken any maps, but they've barely even taken any rounds this series. Looks very one-sided. Woof, maybe in with the first kill of the last round this half, and well, it might actually go Red Hat's way. They've found a one-man advantage with still their main man Nox lurking.
It all comes down to if Nox can find a kill here. If he drops, then I think that AWS should actually still be able to find this round. Somehow slithers away. It's actually brave to fall back to that B-bomb site. Now it's back in contention. Nox is on this angle. Macaletto is going to be able to swing out, find 2 headshots, possibly even the third, as he now knows where Monster's playing from. And as he pokes his head out, that's going to be exactly what happens. A 4K for the final round of the half. Might be a little too late. And I mean, look at that. Look, you see the 2 little, it's like it's got antennas or something, 2 little eyes. The 2 rounds on that CT side just popping up at the very start and the very end.
In Counter-Strike, you're supposed to win some in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. It's quite important.
Very, very important. Put some 13-2 down before the start of the second half. With this pistol round maybe separating AWS from these semi-finals. They've gone for 2 kits once again. This seems to be a tactic that they're employing in the majority of their pistols. They did it on Inferno. It makes a repetition here on our potential final map of the night. Poison Monkey shots through. It doesn't connect with anything, though. There's Funter to finally find some success with the USPS. And Red Hats, they seem to be very proficient with these pistols, but not much else. Bomb to go down. Numbers tapped in. They've got an even Stevens advantage here on this B bomb site. C4 going down is the extra man in this scenario. And Woof, he now needs to coordinate his forces right into the curly letter. Nox, he's got the angle, the Glock there for 1, but he is done. This retake happening once again, and this is deja vu back to Inferno. Macedo through mid, finds 2 headshots, and he's going to back off. Woof, yes, he does have a defuse kit in play. He's going to grab it, but needs a shot right now. Turns around and finds it. There's only a couple of seconds for this defuse, and he hasn't spotted the bomb. It's hidden below the body, Josh. Oh no, that might be the catastrophic mistake. This is going to be a final second defuse if it comes through, and he finds it 14-2.
Oh, it's always the danger, isn't it? When you die on the bomb, it conceals it, and you need to listen to those beeps right down to the wire, but they do come out on top. And around that, I really didn't think they were going to. That B site, an incredibly tricky one to retake, especially without the utility. So they do a wonderful job at doing so. And now here in the 17th, they're up against the full buy from the Red Hats. If this doesn't work out for them, it's pretty much game over. It's forces from here on out, and Food Monster already opening up proceedings with a tag.
And the best weapon in the game has been picked up, the P90.
Whoop, whoop. I love it. I love the P90. That's my P90 whoop. That's what you get when someone buys a P90.
A whoop, whoop. I do love a good P90 on a Saturday night. And here it goes. Oh no, this is going to chomp through. Both kills for Funter. He actually gets rid of it. Picking up that Galil.
That is a downgrade. The Galil is worth less money.
Did he actually hit a headshot with that USPS there? That crosshair looked miles below the head, but realistically, when you're moving, it does give you a slight glimmer of hope that you are going to hit it. This one is possible here for Frave. Sism's very low, 9 HP, and Food Monster, yes, he's got the scout, but playing the CT spawn, not the best kind of angle for this.
Yes, not. I wouldn't mind seeing him take a leap of faith into CT. I think that'll do about 12 points of damage. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to backtrack towards short. Wants to try and retrieve this bomb. Food Monster isn't in the best spot with this scout, so could definitely get caught out here. But as he spots the head, or a little bit too quick to the trigger, needs to now take a secondary swing at it. They have just completely outpositioned him here, though. Sism's already coming in from long. They should be able to pincer him in as long as Food Monster hits this shot, and he absolutely does. 15 on the board then for this AWS side, as they're 1 away from closing out this series, and I definitely anticipate them to do so.
They need 1 out of 13 to close off this quarter. The rifles will come out once again. Red hats, they won't have too much. Of course, T-side, easier to buy. The Desert Eagle Mac 10 is the main detriment to this investment. You see Nox actually going for a deagle of his own. I'd certainly prefer him with the rifle in this scenario, but realistically, this could be 16-2 and an even more dominant performance than that on Inferno.
It's definitely shaping up to be that way, isn't it? You see another force buy come out here for the Red Hats, as I mentioned before. Going for the force buy in the last pretty much guarantees that they will here too. Going for a bit of a cheeky boost. You don't see that boost too often. I remember using that boost a while ago. Really does catch out the CT side if they get aggressive into the tunnels, but I don't think that Wuff is going to be trying to push in anytime soon. He'll just be holding this pit angle. And a lot of damage dealt here in middle.
Yeah, that's where the brute force of this attack is actually happening right now, and realistically, Frave needs a headshot or two, otherwise this could all certainly be over. Looking to challenge long once again. Here come the forces. Funter there to try and hold it down, but incredibly low HP for Wolf. Needs to find one before dropping, doesn't. Now at the middle of the map under contention. Funter the last line of defense on this A bomb site. He does the damage, and that is even more damage dealt here to the Red Hats before they make this final pursuit into the A bomb site. They've got the Deagle, the UMP to work with, and as one falls, Mesaledo only has the Desert Eagle remaining on this server. Needs to find so many shots here. Has a good angle, but only 20 seconds left to play with. This could grant a freebie bomb site. It doesn't. Quick shot there from Sisms, as that is the game, Josh.
Well, that was a very quick one, wasn't it? I was expecting it to be a little bit closer than that, but of course, we were expecting it to be somewhat one-sided as well, weren't we? The AWS, they were just the better side statistically, and we saw that on Inferno too. 16-3, 16-2 doesn't really get a lot more dominant than that, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. You just see, from start to finish, it did look like AWS was the better team. I've got to give a big shout out to Nox, though, in the meantime, because, yeah, he definitely put together a couple of really nice clutches and good performances, especially there on Dust 2, to get his team actually off the board. And obviously, this is a charity match as well. So, although we did see some serious Counter-Strike right there, we didn't see sometimes in the show matches, we see the Zeus's come out. We see some funky weapons. Yes, we did see a P90 at the end, but not too much else in terms of crazy wacky buys.
And I don't think the P90 was a joke. I think the P90 was a serious buy, and it actually worked out. It merited him 2 kills, then he swapped to the Galil and got another. So yeah, it was actually a pretty good buy for a B Tunnels rush. But of course, as you say, you do often see these crazy wacky plays with the Zeuses and things like that in these kind of show matchy games, and we didn't see that. It was just close it out, win the playoffs. We don't want to be joking around. We do want to take one of those top spots. We want to make sure that we do get that money for our charity of choice. Of course, this is a charity event as well, so you got to make sure that you're playing for the charity at that point, aren't you? So make sure you put up your A game.
Yeah, you certainly are. And of course, great charities here tonight that they've both been playing for. I highly suggest anybody out there to actually donate to both of these. Girls Who Code and the winning team, the NAACP. Phenomenal charities to support all through this event as well. That's what this is all about. I'm sure that you know that already. And realistically, great performance there from AWS. And I'm excited to see what they bring to the table further through the tournament. We'll actually be back next Saturday. That's the 12th. So make sure you see us right here. Be sure to do that for more CEA action. We'll see you next time.
So I work at Amazon. I'm actually part of the Ops Tech IT team, which is just like operations IT. Aside from that, I just pretty much game. I'm at home with my fiance and 4 cats and taking care of our newborn son.
We are here today for the Corporate Esports Association Overwatch 2020 Spring Playoffs. It is going to be a spectacular day.
I'm through most of it. Only does get one as the Blizzard comes out on the backside. T also going to find the dead eye onto Specs on the high ground. Google has to press on the pedal to try and touch this point. And they're not! Oh, it comes up short. Amazon Fire Force will be able to take Volskaya Industries.
CEA to me is like an organization that pulls together a lot of these like top companies around the world. I think it's like a great team building function, and then also it's for a great cause. It's for charity.
And since 2 members showed up in the top lane, they're immediately going to go for the dive in the mid lane with the damage onto Pandora. They're going to be able to pick up the kill. Twice over for Apocalypse. Everyone else is going to be running for the hills. Nobody wants to be able to join in this fight. With the minions there, the Baron's still on everybody. This is going to be the grand finals for Team Amazon Stock Dip. They've got the money, $5,000 for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. They have secured it for themselves with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, so like losing to Adobe was like pretty heartbreaking. I got like the second place trophy in the mail. I'll see it like every day, and like it's like a reminder, like you have to do better. You always have to like somebody out there is better than you. Like you should always try to be the best. But like we're definitely gonna come back way stronger, way better. We don't want to drop another game during the season. We definitely don't want to lose in grand finals.
Adobe Illustrators taking this next map.